Today we're jumping into interior design. Specifically, what makes a living room feel, really soulful, grounded, elegant, but sort of effortless.
Yeah, that effortless part is key. And we're digging into that source you mentioned, soulful living, nature, texture, light, and flow. It really lays out a great framework for this.
It really does. So for you listening, our mission here is basically to unpack that.
Right.
We want to pull out the key ideas, the specifics from the material that really make these rooms work.
Get to the why and the how.
Exactly. Like a shortcut to understanding these, honestly, pretty captivating design ideas.
Okay, let's dive in.
All right. So the source kicks off with this central idea. These aren't just rooms, they're soulful environments designed with intention. What does that actually mean, practically speaking?
Well, it means you're going way beyond just like picking out nice furniture. The intention is to shape how you feel in the space, how you live in it. It's about deliberately mixing materials, light, texture, even plants.
Plants, right.
To create something that feels, well, alive, grounded.
Yeah.
And has this quiet elegance to it.
So it's less about decorating and more about creating a specific feeling.
Exactly. The end game isn't just looks. It's about, like the source says, creating immersive design experiences that inspire, transform, and elevate.
Wow.
Yeah. It's design that kind of feeds your soul,
Yeah.
Just being there feels good, nourishing.
Okay, and to build that feeling, the actual architecture seems really fundamental in the source. It talks about single-story homes, using materials like concrete, steel, wood,
Yes.
and using them specifically to frame nature like art.
That phrase is so good, isn't it? Frame nature like art.
It really is.
It tells you straight away that the line between inside and outside is meant to be, well, blurry. And that mix of materials, concrete, steel, wood, is absolutely crucial to the feeling.
Okay, so how do they work together? What's the interplay there?
Well, think of concrete as the anchor, the grounding force. It's the canvas. You see it in walls, but often softened up with plaster. And floors, too, where the finish, polished or matte, makes a big difference to the light.
Okay. Reflecting or absorbing it.
Exactly. Creating contrast with textiles, plants, And concrete even forms built-in benches, shelves, literally rooting things.
And steel, you mentioned steel. It feels like it's there, but maybe not the star.
Precisely. Steel is like the quiet structural hero. It's beams, maybe those black-framed windows you see.
Yeah, those thin frames.
Right. Slender furniture legs, shelving frames. It gives structure without being heavy or bulky.
So it lets the other elements breathe.
Yeah, it lets the organic stuff, the wood, the textures really come forward, but keeps things feeling crisp.
And wood then brings in the warmth, the humanity.
Absolutely, yes. Wood is essential for that. It brings softness against the harder surfaces. You find it in the ceiling slats, maybe long, low cabinets, custom shelves, those really tall floor-to-ceiling door frames sometimes, and definitely flooring. Wide plank oak, maybe whitewashed wood for a different vibe. It just layers in that inviting, organic feel.
So the floors are either that solid concrete base, maybe with big rugs, or the warmer wood.
Right?
And the walls aren't just flat white surfaces either, are they?
No, definitely not. The source talks about smooth plaster and these lovely earth tones, taupes, warm grays, soft clay colors.
Nice.
Or you might see vertical wood panels or subtle stone textures. Sometimes a concrete accent wall. Walls are active participants. They have texture, intention. They might have built-in shelves or even like vertical greenery integrated.
Okay, vertical greenery on the walls. That's interesting.
Yeah, it adds to that tactile richness. The walls aren't just backdrops.
Which leads us nicely into this seamless connection to nature thing. The source is really clear. The garden isn't just out there.
It's part of the inside.
It's fundamental.
This is absolutely a cornerstone. You have to dissolve that barrier. Make inside and outside feel like one thing.
And the architecture enables that.
Totally. It's designed for it.
Primarily with those massive glass doors, right? The ones that slide or fold away.
Exactly. Those floor-to-ceiling, often wooden frame glass doors are the key. They literally let the room, as the source says, spill into a lush tropical landscape.
Wow, spill into it.
Yeah, it creates this cinematic interaction. The view becomes this living, changing thing right there in your room.
And it's not just about the opening, it's also about like the thresholds being seamless. Maybe the floor continues outside.
Yes, exactly. Seamless thresholds are a detail that matters. And sometimes, yeah, the same flooring material might flow right out onto the patio. It really helps blur that line.
And the plants inside, they're not just an afterthought in a pot.
No way. Greenery is integral. It's treated as a core design element, just like the sofa.
Huh.
You see these oversized plants chosen for their shape, their drama, fiddly figs, snake plants, monsteras.
Right, the big statement plants.
Yeah. Plus wall planters, hanging plants, and sometimes, like we mentioned, those vertical gardens on the walls, living sculptures.
So they're really part of the architecture, almost.
In a way, yes. They're not just decoration. They're living elements woven into the design fabric.
And the view itself is constantly considered.
Always. Every viewpoint, every angle is designed to draw your eye outside. The garden isn't just a backdrop. The source calls it an integral part, a living mural changing hour by hour.
It's dynamic.
Right.
And you mentioned the sensory side earlier. I guess with doors open, it's not just what you see.
Oh, absolutely not. It's full immersion. You feel the breeze, right? Maybe you smell jasmine or rain on the stone path outside. You hear birds, wind in the leaves instead of just, the hum of the fridge. The source even mentions the scent of earth mixing with the indoor sense of fabric and wood.
That sounds amazing, engaging all the senses.
That's the goal.
Okay, let's shift a bit. The source talks a lot about layering, texture, tactile warmth, tactile richness. How does that play into the soulful feeling?
This is crucial because you might have those clean lines, hard materials like concrete.
Right, which could feel cold.
Exactly. So the warmth, the coziness, comes from really intentional layering and choosing materials you instinctively want to touch. It creates what the source calls cozy serenity.
And does that start with the furniture choices?
Yes, curated furniture is a big part of it. Not just any old sofa. Pieces with sculptural shapes, upholstered in really touchable fabrics, buccal, soft linen, maybe velvet.
Oh, buccal's everywhere now, but it feels right here.
It does. And think coffee tables made from reclaimed wood or polished stone. The pieces feel chosen like they were sculpted to fit the space. They add to the rhythm, that feeling of quiet luxury.
And then you layer textures on those pieces and around them.
Right, so maybe a big, soft woven rug over the smooth concrete floor. Cushions on the sofa in different textures and earthy tones, ochre, dusty rose, sage green. Maybe sheer gauze curtains that just soften the light.
It sounds very considered.
It is. This layering isn't just decoration. It builds atmosphere. It creates that tactile richness.
And the furniture itself, you said sculptural, like art pieces.
Very much so. Chairs, tables, benches. They often have these beautiful curved shapes, soft corners. Coffee tables might be low, maybe asymmetrical, adding interest without shouting. Even little side stools are chosen for their form.
So it's comfort, curated with a careful hand. That's a nice phrase from the source.
It is, isn't it? It implies care, intention. The design invites you to interact physically, like running your hand over a linen pillow or feeling the cool edge of a stone table. The idea is that these spaces should feel as good as they look.
Okay, let's talk light, another huge element. The source says natural daylight does the heavy lifting.
It really does. With those massive glass doors and windows, light just floods in.
Right.
It creates this warm, constantly shifting glow all day long. And that light is essential for showing off the textures we just talked about, the plaster, the wood grain, the fabrics. It reveals that tactile quality.
But then what happens at night, the artificial lighting becomes theatrical, it says.
Yeah, theatrical or maybe sculptural is a good word. It's not just about flipping on a central overhead light.
No harsh glare.
Definitely not. You get deliberate pools of light. Maybe a beautiful sculptural pendant lamp, frosted glass, or matte brass hanging low over a seating area. Wall sconces washing light up or down a textured wall, highlighting it.
Or maybe a linear chandelier over a coffee table.
Yes, creating intimacy. And there's also subtle recessed lighting mentioned.
Ah, hidden away.
Exactly. Tucked into ceiling coves or under shelves. It provides this soft, warm background glow without drawing attention to the fixture itself. It's layered sculptural lights for focus, hidden lights for ambiance.
So it's a mix.
A very intentional mix.
And do the ceilings themselves contribute to how the light works?
Oh, definitely. High ceilings give that sense of airiness, obviously, but things like wooden beams or ceiling slats or even subtle geometric patterns provide surfaces for light to bounce off.
Ah, interesting.
It adds character and helps diffuse the light, especially indirect light, making it feel softer and warmer. Okay, moving into the details, the nitty-gritty. The source is really firm on this. This is not about filling space.
Yeah.
This is about curation.
Right. Every object has a purpose, a reason for being there. Like those examples, design books, sculptures, pottery on shelves.
Exactly. Every surface is seen as an opportunity for an intentional moment. Design books aren't just crammed onto a shelf. They're stacked thoughtfully for texture, weight, maybe to elevate a plant. Minimalist sculptures, handmade pottery add those artistic touches. Glass vases, candle holders are chosen for how they play with light. Even corners get attention, maybe a single large potted plant making a statement.
And the overall approach to decor is minimal and expressive. What does that mean exactly?
It means less is more, but the less has impact. You don't need clutter. A single tall, striking ceramic vase can say more than 10 little knickknacks. Maybe some vintage glass bottles catching the light. Artwork often just leaned against a wall, which gives it a more relaxed, sort of lived-in gallery vibe.
It's less formal.
Yeah. And the source is pretty specific about what's not there, too.
Oh, yeah. What does it say to avoid?
It mentions no reliance on gimmicks or overused decorative pieces. And interestingly, no fans, no fireplaces, no clutter.
No fireplaces. Huh. Maybe it depends on the climate context of the source examples.
Could be. But the point is stripping away anything unnecessary, anything that doesn't contribute to the core feeling of form, function, and serenity.
So it really comes down to the small intentional touches, like hidden LED strips or that perfect vintage vase.
Precisely. Those details speak volumes. It's about the balance. Maybe geometric furniture balanced by a fluid, curved sculpture.
Yeah.
And how art and function blend together. A side table isn't just a table. Maybe it has clever storage. A niche might hide lighting. A wood panel might look decorative, but actually helps with acoustics.
And what about personal stuff? Photos, mementos, does that fit in?
Yes, but again, with intention. They're integrated purposefully in niches, on designated shelves, maybe a curated gallery wall.
So they don't become clutter.
Right. They humanize the space, tell your story, add that layer of personalization, but without disrupting the overall calm. Okay, let's talk about flow, the layout. It's not just where you put the sofa, right? It's about how you move, how you feel moving through the space.
So the layout itself is designed to encourage both relaxing and connecting.
Yeah. Furniture is arranged to make conversation easy, but without blocking those important views outside.
Ah, always the views.
Always. Sectionals might create a cozy zone. Coffee tables are close enough to be useful, maybe centered, with an interesting asymmetrical arrangement on top. Lounge chairs are angled invitingly, suggesting you sit down, stay a while.
And the source says the space feels like it has grown into its form over time.
Isn't that a lovely way to put it?
Yeah.
It avoids that feeling of a trendy, just-installed look.
Yeah, like it wasn't just imposed.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
feels organic, natural, like the layout just fits the space and how you naturally want to use it.
And it supports movement. You feel drawn through it.
Yes, it should feel intuitive. You should be able to naturally move between zone sofa to garden, for example.
Yeah.
No awkward obstacles, nothing blocking sightlines, nothing feeling cramped, just easy, intuitive flow.
Are there specific moments designed into that flow, like little pauses?
Yeah, transitional moments often get special attention. Maybe a bench perfectly placed under a window, inviting you to stop and look out. Or a hallway isn't just a corridor. It's styled to be a moment of visual calm before you enter the main room. There's this constant interplay between the forms, the light, and how you move.
It sounds like the space itself kind of encourages mindfulness, being present.
That's definitely a goal. The design wants to slow you down, ask you to sit, to breathe, to observe. The layout gently guides you towards that state of presence.
And is it adaptable? Can the same space work for different moods or times of day?
Yes, the source highlights this adaptability. The design should inherently support different scenarios. Quiet morning coffee, busy afternoon, relaxing evening, without needing a major furniture shuffle.
That flexibility is built in.
It's woven right into the design from the start.
So, thinking bigger picture now, the source talks about the deeper stuff. The feeling, balance, even sustainability.
Right. This is where it goes beyond just aesthetics, where design serves the soul, as the source puts it, elevating the everyday into something almost poetic.
It sounds like it's all about connection.
I think so. Connection between the space and the natural world. Connection between different materials, between light and shadow, between feeling comfortable and having clarity. It's about creating somewhere that feels truly lived in, grounded, and, that word again, intentional.
And you mentioned balance earlier, but not necessarily symmetry.
Yes, that's a key distinction. It's harmony, not rigid symmetry. It's about achieving a sense of presence, not some impossible standard of perfection. It's that feeling of enough.
The feeling of enough. I like that.
Yeah, everything needed is there, nothing's excessive, nothing's lacking.
And the emotional payoff for living in a space like that must be pretty significant.
You'd think so. Design done this well creates a lasting feeling peace, maybe belonging. Just simple presence. It's what makes a house feel like a home, a true sanctuary.
And sustainability seems woven in too, not just tacked on.
Exactly. It starts with material choices. Using durable stuff like reclaimed timber, stone, plaster, steel isn't just about looks. It's because they last. They age gracefully, gain character.
And you don't have to replace them constantly.
Right. The design respects time.
So sustainability is also a mindset here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about building things to endure, choosing items you'll love and keep for a long time, reducing waste. And the design itself helps optimizing for daylight, and airflow cuts down energy use.
Right.
A home that's in tune with nature can reduce stress, improve well-being, deepen that connection. It's nourishing on all levels.
And it redefines luxury, doesn't it?
Completely. It's not about flashy spending or overt opulence. The luxury here is described as deeply, profoundly rich in texture, atmosphere, intention.
A richness that lasts.
Exactly. A richness that trends can't touch. The source suggests the deepest luxury might just be that feeling of your nervous system exhale when you enter the space.
Wow. That's powerful.
It is. So, okay, let's bring this all back to you, the listener. How can you apply this? Because this level of intention, this soulful approach, isn't just for brand new houses or huge budgets.
Right. You can bring these ideas in whether you're building, renovating, or just, tweaking your current living room.
Absolutely. The source is clear. It's less about budget and more about clarity of purpose.
Clarity of purpose. Okay.
And that clarity comes from asking yourself one key question.
Which is?
How do you want to feel in that space? Let that feeling, peace, energy, calm, inspiration, whatever it is for you, be your guide.
Let the feeling guide the choices about materials, light, furniture, color.
Exactly. When you design from that core feeling, you end up creating something much more timeless.
Makes sense.
You create a space that genuinely supports you, that can change with you, that holds you, and that actually grows more beautiful over time because it's rooted in your intention, not just some passing style. Everyone deserves a space like that.
Definitely. So we've really dug deep today into what makes these living rooms feel soulful, according to the source. We've looked at the intentional mix of materials, the crucial role of light and nature, the importance of texture, careful curation, and thoughtful flow.
And the big takeaway, I think, is that design is fundamentally about shaping your experience, shaping how you feel at home. It's so much more than just filling space or chasing the latest trend.
Absolutely. So as you look around your own space today, maybe just consider this. What's one small thing, maybe a texture you could introduce, a lamp you could move, even just a single plant? What's one small adjustment you could make to help your living room feel a little more alive, more grounded, or more intentional specifically for you?
A great question to ponder. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Until next time.
If you found this video helpful or inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Interior Blockchain Studio for more expert design ideas, trends, and creative inspiration. Your support helps us bring you even more amazing content, so make sure to turn on notifications and stay updated with our latest uploads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.